booked myself on a flight to Dublin. It's 5 in the morning, flight's in a couple of hours, and I should be landing in Dublin for about 8ish. This was somewhat a last minute decision. The purpose of this trip was to try and mentally reset. I've been having a rough time lately with the old mental health, and it was decided that a little solo trip with one camera and as much 35mm as I could pocket would be a nice way to do it.
If Dublin is not your destination, please identify.
This is Portra 400 VC. VC, or Vivid Contrast, is no longer manufactured, and this roll is well and truly expired. Now, I was told the film had been frozen, so I didn't really think too much about it and shot it at 400. I think the expired film would benefit from an extra stop or two of light. There were some okay photos, but generally the whole roll was underwhelming. Typically, I'm fairly confident with my metering, but my head was all over the place, so it's not impossible that I just royally fucked it. This was one photo that I was particularly excited about, until I saw it. It looks like mud. The amount of pigeons and seagulls getting fed was incredible. They were going absolutely tits at this woman. I loved the chaos of the scene, but even just pressing the shutter a second earlier, while the majority of the birds were a little higher, would have vastly improved this underexposed turd. So, about this mental reset. It didn't really go to plan, and as soon as I landed I felt fucking awful. I immediately called Robin to let her know, and I would have booked a flight straight back. However, same day flights apparently cost 8 times the price that I paid to get there in the first place, so I settled for one the morning after. Despite attempting to soldier on and walk in the streets in tears, I ended up spending most of the day in bed, asleep. It wasn't all terrible though, the sun was out, and here's some photos that I do like. This ladybird, it's so rubbish and dumb, I'm completely charmed by it. I know Robin also loves badly done street art, so I took this photo purely to show her when I got home. In second place, I absolutely love this chemist. And I'm treading new ground here, shooting neon signs in daylight and on a stock that isn't Cinestill. I think even Pixar themselves would have difficulty rendering a sky with such perfect clouds. Looking at the shadows on the ground, I guess softer light would have been nice, and aside from the location of the push bike, I'm pretty pleased with the framing. And that leaves us with first place. This. It's my favourite from the roll. I like the composition, it's clean, the angle of the light isn't distracting. I like how the sky isn't just straight up blue and is occupied by a huge cloud that mirrors the wall along the bottom. And I like that the 4x4 is smack bang in the centre of the frame. And finally, assuming that my metering was mostly fine, then I'm going to give an honourable mention for a photo that I must have overexposed, because the expired film actually looks pretty good. So I'm not going to quit on the pile of film I've got just yet. I'll try another roll and give it an extra stop or two of light and see how I get on.